Hi there, music fans. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest edition of Under the Radar Reviews. This is where I pick one of the CDs in my collection and I try to give it its just due. Either it didn't chart well, it's not mentioned anymore, or it's not mentioned in the same breath as the band's classic catalog, and I try to put a little light on it. So this week I chose the Allman Brothers Band, and it's Hitting the Note. This is their 2003 studio album, and actually their final studio album. Very interesting time for the band. Co-founding member, singer, songwriter, guitar player Dickie Beats, I believe, is fired around the time that they're thinking about making a record. Warren Haynes, that did a stint with them from '89 to '97, is back in the fold, coming to play on the record and also co-produce it with Michael Barbiero. The album is comprised of 11 tracks. It is their first studio album in almost, I think, 10 years. So these old war dogs are kind of worried, do they still have the magic, especially without beats involved? Can they create something worthy of the Allman Brothers name? And those fears were unfounded. This is one of the greatest contemporary classic rock albums that you will hear in your lifetime. It shouldn't be this good, but it is, and I'm grateful. The inspiration, the instrumentation, the singing, the production leaps off your speakers and hits you like a hammer multiple times during the listening of this record. I can't stress how good it is. I fell in love with it the first time in 2003 and became a diehard Allman Brothers Band fan. And I don't know why I haven't been listening to it the last few years, but I haven't. I got back into it this weekend, put it on, and hit me like a hammer again. It has aged well. It has taken everything that you love about the Allman Brothers, Southern rock, blues, their improv, their rambling jams, is all here. It's a little bit more, I'm going to say a little bit more melodic than we're used to, but it suits them. So they did tweak it, but it in no ways hinders their classic rock sound. Of the 11 tracks, I like them all, but if I have to pick, I'm going to go with, as I look through my notes, excuse me, Firing Line is a funky album opener. It was the first single. I think it went a top 40 hit. We have Desdemona, which is a nice little southern soul, a little bit of blues with some jazz overtones on there. A great, great song. There is a fantastic blues track. I believe there's an organ and guitar duel on there. It's Woman Across the River. Old Before My Time is one of the most haunting songs you will ever hear. Greg Allman speaks about being, world weary and how he survived all these tragedies, and, phenomenal, phenomenal. What else on here? There is the album closer, a nice acoustic number, Old Friend. I think that's the first and only song that there's no original Allman Brothers playing on there, which is pretty freaky. Then there's a great rocker called Rocking Horse. And then, of course, there is, if you think that these guys weren't going to put on a jam session on here, or couldn't do a good one on a studio record, that they can only do it in their live albums. Instrumental Illness, I believe, was up for a couple of Grammys that year, and it lost, I think, to Jeff Beck, if I remember. I think Plan B was the song, but don't quote me on that one. All in all, a great record. Like I said, this is the album that should not be this good. There's no way to describe it. All the planets aligned. Everything came to fruition. These guys were on fire. Every song is amazing. Oh yes, and I forgot this. I did not realize Heart of Stone. Usually I know the cover tracks. Usually go, this is a Beatles song. This was somebody. This is other song. This is a Bob Dylan track. This is John Hyatt. Heart of Stone from the Stones is on here. They made it their own. They made it so convincing that it's their own song. I remember listening to it going, I know the words to this. How do I know the words to this? I haven't played this album in like 3 years. How do I know all the words to this? And I sat back and went, oh my God, this is the Rolling Stones. But it doesn't sound anything like the Stones. Great, great, great riveting version of that on here. Um, I like I said, if you love the Allman Brothers Band, if you love Southern rock, if you love blues, if you love bands that love to improv, if you like battling guitars and organs and drums on tracks, and there's give and take, and there's fluctuations in the tempos, if you love that, if you love just great music, this is one of the albums you need to find. Search it out, listen to it, and let us know. We'd love to hear from you. So this is my choice for Under the Radar review. It's the Allman Brothers Hitting the Note. This is the album that defied the odds and created one of the most classic contemporary albums I've ever heard. I'm glad I rediscovered it. I hope you discover it, and I hope you let me know what you think. I'll be seeing you soon, and rock on, guys.